Hello adventurers, welcome to my YouTube channel. It is I, Soloist Adventure, and today we are going to be doing a little update on my solo dungeon crawling game, which is Dungeoneer for Hire, and I am so excited to show you guys the progress. I have here the little scene with the rules and tables in here. And then I have the dungeon map and then the character sheet. I already kind of drew a little figurine. That's me right there, Soloist Adventure. And I don't know if I want this to be the final design of the character sheet. I'll still kind of play around with it and see. But you can see here you can write down the employer, your ability modifiers, any weapons and shields that you want to equip. And then items. So the boxes represent how much that you can carry. So you can only carry 1 pendant, you can only carry 3 healing potions, you can only carry 3 better healing potions, only can have 1 portal rune key, and then if you do end up getting an inferno staff, which can be found in the legendary item tables, after it's used 3 times, then the staff is destroyed. And this thing's kind of cool. I hope I can get that. And then this is also a tracker for how many ancient tomes you find, and the goal is to find all 5. And so when you find all 5, then you win. Oh, and then there's also like a little section here for your total health point. You can track that, and then you can also track here health points of the Dungeoneers and monsters that you encounter. So I guess we can get started. I already have like quite a few edits I know that I need to make, and there are actually 2 tables that I forgot to add. So I do kind of want this to be not as like long and lengthy, and so there might be like some rules I might be like over explaining, so we'll see. I do have like a few friends that are going to be kind of proofreading this for me and playtesting, and yeah, then I have here, it is a sequel to The Wizard's Missing Gemstone. So the 2 tables that I forgot, I just wrote it down in my notes here. Yeah, so I'll just refer to this when needed. Okay, so let us open it up. So, Dungeoneer for Hire. We need you. Word goes around fast in the small town of Kyrinth. Rumor has it that Albie, the old town wizard, discovered a dungeon underground, right below his wizard tower, that holds 5 ancient tomes. And these tomes contain some of Kyrinth's darkest secrets, and businesses are going crazy trying to hire Dungeoneers to acquire them. There are 3 potential employers who are willing to hire you. Each employer has certain benefits that will aid you in your adventure through the dungeon. Be aware of your surroundings. You won't just encounter monsters and traps, but businesses are also competing with one another, so you will run into other Dungeoneers trying to find those ancient tomes as well. So, good luck. And what you need to play, pencil, eraser, a character sheet, which is this, 1d4, 1d6, and 1d8. And I mean, when I played this like the first few times, I didn't really like lose track of which room I was in, but I don't know, just thinking about other people, let's use this guy. It might be helpful to have a mini to track. And then also I kind of put an optional thing here, extra 1d4, 1d6, and 1d8, just in case if like things get kind of like tricky. Alright, so we can choose our employer. So before you start your adventure, pick one of these employers and gain the benefits. You will be given a +1 to their corresponding ability and a starter weapon. Refer to the weapons table for details about your weapon. Okay, so we have Albie, Zara, and Gorath. So I think I want to work for Gorath here, the blacksmith. So that'll grant me +1 strength. So I'll put +1 on my character sheet. And my starter weapon is a sword. And let's look at the weapons table here. So a sword, we will be using a 1d8. 1d8. Okay. And I do need to start off here. So your 3 abilities are Strength, Dexterity, and Charisma. All players start with 0 at first, but then you will add your modifier that can be applied to any ability of your choice, and then the modifier that you get from your employer. And when you are told to roll for a Strength, Dex, or Charisma save, also called a check, you would roll on the corresponding dice and add your modifier to the dice result. So that is the table I wanted to add here. So I just put here as a reminder for players that a 4+ success for a dex is, a 4+ on a dex save is a success, and same with charisma. Okay, and then, so for strength, used for attacks used by your weapons. So let's say you're attacking with a dagger, which is a 1d4 plus 2. You add your modifier along with that weapon's dice, so that would be the total attack value. So an example would be a 1d4 plus 2 plus 1. So that total would be the total attack against like the monster or Dungeoneer. And then now for dexterity, this will be used for dodging traps or Dungeoneers. I should probably say here, avoiding traps or Dungeoneers from stealing the tome. Okay, so for example, when you are rolling a dex save, a 1d4, you add the dice result along with your ability modifier. So if you roll a 2 and your dex modifier is a +2, the total would be 4, which is a success. So I put a note here that you cannot use a dex save to flee from monsters or Dungeoneers. So if you're going into combat, you are going into combat. I just figured that would be it kind of fits with the theme of it being like a dungeon, and it's kind of hard to like avoid monsters and stuff if it's just you and the monster in the room. So that's just kind of my thinking around that. And then charisma, so it's used for intimidating Dungeoneers or deciphering runes to activate portals. So when you're trying to decipher runes, you roll for a charisma save or check, and you add your charisma modifier. And now exploration. So the main way to explore the dungeon is on foot. There are no doors in the dungeon, only portals in certain dungeon rooms and tunnels. So tunnels are numbered and dungeon rooms are numbered and they are connected by tunnels. You can visit any room in any order as long as you are traveling through the tunnel. So that's kind of like an example. Like you can't hop from room 1 to room 5. You have to go around here. And let's see. So if you see a P in the room, that means that you have you have a chance to access the portal each time you enter the room after an encounter. So once you complete the encounter, the room is safe for you to perform a charisma check to decipher the portal runes. A success gives you the chance to teleport to any room with a P. A fail means that you do not have access to the portal, so you must travel to a different room via the tunnel. So basically, like every time that you want to travel into a room, you have to roll on the encounter table. So let's say we start here and then we roll for the encounter, resolve that encounter, and then it's our choice if we want to continue to 4 or 3. Let's say we go to 4 and then we do the encounter there. So you can't like skip to like a room. Like let's say you want to go to 4 but you don't want to go to 9, you want to go to 7 to try to get the portal access. You have to go through 9 to get to room 7. So that's kind of an example. All right, so I kind of put this out of order here, but for the rules here, so encounters. Okay, so you are a Dungeoneer venturing off, exploring the dungeon rooms. So every time you enter a room, even if it's one that you have previously explored, you must roll on a 1d6 on the encounter table. So these are traps. You must perform a dex save to roll a 1d4 and add your dex modifier. A result above a 4 is a success and you gain an ancient tome. If you roll below a 4, that is a fail and you roll on the trap table. And now for monsters. You cannot escape monsters and you must go into combat. You will always attack first when encountering monsters, and your attacks will always hit. So roll on the monster type table. This is more just for flavor text. So these are the 3 different types that you'll encounter in the dungeon. Either an undead spirit, a giant spider, or a hobgoblin. And then you roll on the monster Dungeoneer health point table. Which is over here. And I forgot to update the stats here, but this would actually be 7 HP, 10 HP, 13 HP, and 15 HP. And then below are the steps for how a round of combat works. So you attack with your weapon, and then you add your strength modifier, which is your attack value. And in total, that attack value is subtracted from the monster's HP. And then you roll on the monster Dungeoneer combat action table, which I forgot to put on here. Yeah, so this is just combat table, which I put over here. So this shows you how much they attack you for. So it's a 1d6 plus 1, a 1d6 plus 2, 1d6 plus 3, or a 1d6 plus 4. And then to see how much they attack you for, and then you subtract that value from your HP. And then you just repeat steps 1 and 2 until you or the monster dies. If you died, you have lost the game. If you defeated the monster, roll on the loot table, which would be over here. Okay, and then for Dungeoneer, so you have met your competitor. So Dungeoneers work similarly like monsters. You roll on the monster and Dungeoneer HP table to see their starting HP, and then you proceed with the following steps. So you roll on the Dungeoneer action table, which is this right here, to see how they react, and then you interpret the results. So if it's a 1, they completely ignore you and you can continue on. If it's a 2, they are trying to steal an ancient tome from you, and you have to perform a dexterity or a charisma save to avoid them. And if you don't have an ancient tome, they are hostile and they will attack you first. And then a 3 is they are hostile, they attack you first. And then a 4, you have advantage and you can try to steal an ancient tome from them. And then you perform a dex save or a charisma save to try to steal it. Alright, so if hostile, you go into battle and they attack you first. So Dungeoneers will always attack you first if they're hostile. So you roll on the monster Dungeoneer combat attack table, which is this that I need to add, to see how much they attack you for. And you continue a round of combat until you or the Dungeoneer dies. So if you have died, you lost the game. If the Dungeoneer died, you gain an ancient tome and no rolls for the loot table. So the loot table is only applicable for monsters. So there are different ways to get an ancient tome. This is just a section to kind of like summarize it. So you can get an ancient tome by getting a result of 4+ on a dex save, trying to avoid a trap, by defeating a monster, and by getting a 7 to an 8 after rolling on the loot table. So that gives you a chance to pick either a legendary item or an ancient tome, which you can see here. So you have the choice if you do roll and you get a 7 or an 8. And then by defeating a Dungeoneer in combat, or you try to steal an ancient tome from them. So those are kind of the ways that you can get an ancient tome. And so now we are ready to begin our adventure here. All right, so we will begin. How about for my choice of modifiers, I could probably apply that to maybe my charisma. Okay, so I am working for Gorath here. Cool. All right, so let us start. Let's start in room 2. Okay, so you see here, room 2 has a P, And we need to do the encounter first before we can try to decipher the runes here. So we roll a 1d6. Okay, so we got a 5, and that means that we have encountered a Dungeoneer. Now we have to roll to see the Dungeoneer starting health points here. So we roll a 1d4. 4. Oh man. Okay, so he starts with 15 health points, and we start there. Oh, and I need to make a note here in the rules, but you always start with 30 health points. And then now we must see how they react. So, yep, so we did the HP table, and then the Dungeoneer action table here. Okay, so let's see how they react. A 1. Okay, they completely ignore you. Okay, which is good. Good. Alright, so now we can try to do a charisma check to decipher the portal rune, or the portal runes here, yeah, to open the portal. Okay, so we can roll 3. Oh no, I forgot this is a 0. So a 3 plus 1, so that is a 4. So that is a success, and we can travel to any room with a portal. So there's only like 3 portals in this dungeon. So let's go to room 7. Alright, so we are in room 7. Roll for encounter. Let's see. So we got a 3, and that is a monster. So let's see what type of monster we are encountering here. Okay, we are encountering a giant spider. Okay, so let's see what their starting health is. Whoops, a 1d4. Okay, 15 as well. Okay, so I guess we can just leave it at that. So now we have to do a, now we're going into combat. So we have a sword, so we have a 1d8 plus 1. So combats are always applied to your strength is always applied to combat here. So our full attack would be a 1d8 plus 1. Okay, so we got a 6 plus 1 is a 7. (15, 14, 13, 12, 10, 9, 8). Okay, so he is now 8. Okay, so now they will attack us. So now we roll on the combat table here, which I need to remind myself to add. Okay, so a 1. Okay, so they attack us for 1d6 plus 1. Okay, so that is 4 plus 5. Yeah, 1d6 plus 1. So we have 25 health points now. And then we continue on. Oh yeah, I have a 1d8. 5, 6, 7. So now left with 1 here. Okay, we're looking okay here. And then they will roll for 1d4 combat. Ooh, okay, 4. So that is a 1d6 plus 4. Okay, let's see how this works. Ooh, that is a 9. Okay. Okay, so we have 16. Alright. Okay, one last one here, which will obviously be a hit. So this is a 1 plus a 1 is a 2. So now down to 0. Great. So we now can roll on the loot table. So let's see what we got here. We got here a 6. So we got a 6. So that means we can either get a wooden shield, which blocks 2 attacks, or we can get an arcane sword, which will be a 1d8 plus 2. I think I want that shield. Yeah. Wooden shield. and that will block, I'll make a note here, 2 attacks. Sweet. So, oh, I wish I could just get a healing potion. Oh well. All right. So now the room is clear, and we can try to decipher those portal runes with a charisma check. 3 plus 1 is a 4. Great. So that gives us access to any room. Let's go to 5 this time. All right. So we're in room 5. Oh wait. Wrong one. What was it? Oh, no, that was right. Okay, we'll do it again. 5. Okay, so we have a Dungeoneer. So let's see what the Dungeoneer's starting health point is. 3. So that is a 13. Okay. And so 13 out of 13. And let's see here. Maybe I'm really hoping they're not going to be too much. A 2. Okay, so they are trying to steal my ancient tome, and I do not have one. So I should probably write a note here. No ancient tome. And then they go to combat. Okay, so they go to combat. And then now... Let's see. Oh yeah, they go to combat. So we roll a 1d4. Okay, so 3. So they attack me, a 1d6 plus 3. So 7. Okay, so that is 10, 9. Oh, I forgot. I can block 2. So 9, 10. So this is 11. Okay. And then now, for our turn. Okay, so we have a 3 plus 1. So that is a 4. Okay. So 9. Alright, and then they attack us again. 2. 1d6 plus 2. 5, 6, 7, 8. Ooh. So that is a 3. Oh, we are losing. Okay, so now it's us. A 3 plus 1 is a 4. Oh man, they're probably gonna defeat us here. What was this? A 9? So 5? That was a 4. Okay, and then they attack us. Oof, 1d6. Okay, yep, so we have lost. Alright, so we have unfortunately lost. So you can see that is how combat works. I know I still am trying to figure out like the right, I guess, the right type of balance for combat, because I do want this to be like hard. And so I don't know. Yeah, I'm thinking I'm gonna be chatting with one of my friends about it, because he's designed stuff like this before and making sure systems are well balanced. But yeah, I'm thinking maybe the starter weapons are too weak, or it could be that the monsters and Dungeoneers are just too strong. That could be it too. They have like too much either. Oh yeah, it might be combat. Yeah, so maybe like, I don't know. I'm gonna see how I'm gonna like adjust the combat rolls here, because yeah, I do, after like playing this is probably like my 2nd or 3rd time playing it, I do see it kind of like unbalanced, but I kind of don't mind that. I kind of don't mind it being like hard. So yeah, sorry, I'm kind of just rambling now, but you can see that is where I'm at right now with my game. So yeah, it is a work in progress. We are slowly making progress, but yeah, I'm really excited to see how this turns out. So yeah, thank you to everyone that's been like super encouraging and like really excited about this project. This is honestly probably my favorite right now. The Wizard's Missing Gemstone was a lot of fun, but I'm really enjoying this dungeon crawler. So Anyways, yeah, so stay tuned for more updates, and I just want to say thank you for hopping along on this journey of game design. Appreciate it. Love all the support. Thank you so much.